everyone, my name is Kamna Adhikari. Welcome to Open Studios. I'm here with some lovely ladies who are the organizers of the Brattleboro Film Festival. This year is the Brattleboro Film Festival's second annual film festival. So let's start with introductions. Lissa, we'll start off with you.
Well, thank you so much for having us, Kam. My name is Lissa Weinman, and I'm the Vice President of the festival and also head up the Public Relations and Marketing effort.
I'm Meg Lyons, and I'm on the selection committee, which started meeting last spring, and we've just finished up a few weeks ago.
My name is Mary Elder. I'm president of the board of the Brattleboro Film Festival, and I'm also on film selection and do a myriad of other things.
Well, this year, ladies, we know that the Brattleboro Film Festival has expanded to a 14-day fest. It was a 3-day fest last year. So can we talk a little bit about, why did you guys make that decision, or what was the vision behind it? Just go into it just for a bit, please.
Yeah, well, I think we started off with a 3-day because we just wanted to get out there. I think we always had the intention of it being a bigger festival, but since we only had like maybe 6 months to organize last year, we just launched it as a smaller thing, and it was very, very successful, incredibly. So we were well on our way to having a much bigger festival this year, and we've really pulled it off.
Okay.
There's a lot of demand in the community for these type of mostly independent, non-mainstream productions. So we knew the demand was there. And also, unlike some festivals, we do not do daytime showings during the week. So only during the weekend do we show films during the day. So it's just evening programming for the during the week evenings.
And let's tell everyone, it will start on November 1st. It will end on November 14th. And there's opening films, there are some special films in there, and there's a closing film, there's Best of the Fest. Can one of you talk about that just a bit again?
Sure.
Yeah, well, one of the things that's new this year is we have countdown to the Best in Fest. So Sunday night on the 10th of November will be the premiere of the Vermont Movie, which will be the last time that the audience can vote on the films. They'll be able to vote on all the films that they see. And the following 4 days will be the top 4 films playing that won the audience, top ratings. And we will also be playing all 6 films of the Vermont Movie during those same days too.
And when is the opening film date? Is it that Friday, November 1st?
Right.
Okay.
Friday, November 1st, we're going to have a big opening reception with free wine and cheese in the Latchis Hotel lobby, the glassed-in area. So we invite everyone to come out for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we open up with our opening film, which we'll discuss, The Rocket, and then Gregory Crewdson, an art film that we tagged to Gallery Walk because it is Gallery Walk Day.
Okay.
And then an animated sort of cult feature later on plays at 10 p.m. that opening night, Friday, November 1st.
Okay, perfect. And we also know that this year, like you've been talking about, and before we go into the films, let's just talk a little bit about the partnerships we've made. I know that because of those partnerships, the film festival has been able to get some certain films.
Yeah. Well, actually, the Vermont International Film Festival contacted us and proposed a partnership, which we were very happy to participate in. And basically, Vermont's a small state, small population. We have maybe the population of Boston or something like that. So it makes sense that we kind of team up and pull resources together. And so we have like maybe a half a dozen films in the festival that the Vermont International Film Festival is also having. Some of them are ones that we discovered and they are having, and vice versa. And we also, it gives us added discounts on those films. So it benefits both of us really well. It's really a great relationship.
That's great.
Yeah, and some you know, as an all-volunteer festival, it's so important for us to work with the other organizations in the community, and it's just been so satisfying working with groups like, for instance, the Commons, which does our program basically as a supplement, and our whole program will be in the Commons in the Wednesday, October 30th edition of the Commons. You'll find a Brattleboro Film Festival supplement that will have a pull-out program which lists all of our events and multiple film reviews. There'll be some great reviews in there done by local writers, so we're really excited about that. We are, again, as a nonprofit, organized under the Arts Council of Windham County, so we're grateful for them for approaching us to see if we'd like to be organized under their umbrella while we await our own nonprofit designation, which we are seeking. Likewise, we work very closely with the Latchis. All of our screenings are at the Latchis Theatre, so we work very closely with them, and they love the partnership. And likewise, we're doing a couple of free film screenings at the Brooks Memorial Library, working with Jerry Carbone over there, and we're going to be presenting 2 classic film noirs with a discussion on Monday, Tuesday, November 4th and 5th, at the free screenings at the library. And we're trying as much as possible to do as many free events as we can. All of our discussions, workshops. We have a free screenwriting workshop with Tim Metcalf, who's a member of our advisory council and wrote Revenge of the Nerds and California with a K, that film a lot of people know. He's giving a 2-day free screenwriting workshop, which we'll be advertising on our website. Jay Craven, well-known director in the area, will also be giving a talk on basically, you know, from dream to reality, how to get a film made, which he's been so creative and successful at. And one other thing, we just like a partnership we're loving and we plan to grow and expand is working with area schools. We have launched a free film appreciation after-school workshop with kids at the Brattleboro area middle school. And we're hoping that some of those kids will lead a discussion or two at one of the films at the festival. So we're giving them the language and the ability to actually talk and discuss films, because as we know, film festivals, and ours in particular, is all about discussions around the films and kind of impact they have in our community.
Well, that sounds great, and you know, I think the entire community is really looking forward to seeing what's at the theater this year with your films. So before we waste any more time, let's talk about the films themselves. I mean, you guys, as part of the selection committee, look at hundreds and hundreds of films, and then you have to like dwindle it down to about 32 films. So if you can maybe talk about either your favorite films, or you know, the ones that you know you feel like are quite powerful. Meg, maybe you want to start off with a film?
Sure. This is the heart and soul of the festival, so we'd like to share with our viewers today just a few of the films that we've selected. And this was a tough process. It always is, whittling down from, you know, just as Com said, you know, over 100 films that we viewed together, whittling that down to the best to bring to the community. Our first film, our opening film on November 1st is called The Rocket, and we're very pleased to say that it's Australia's official selection to the 2014 Oscars in the Best Foreign Language category. It's a feature film that was shot in the northern mountains of Laos. It's a spectacular landscape. The cinematography in this movie is just breathtaking. This is an area of the world that few of us will probably ever see.
Right.
We meet a little boy who's thought to bring bad luck, not just to himself, but to those around him. His family loses its home, and together they go on this journey through the mountains. And it's a pretty treacherous, tense journey, lots of adventures. And during the course of the journey, he tries to redeem himself.
Okay.
But he fails miserably. And that is until he sets out to build a giant rocket. And he enters his rocket in what's considered to be the most dangerous competition in all of Laos, the Rocket Festival. So let's see a clip of this.
Yeah, and I think we do have a clip of it.
ออกมาถึงแล้วพอดแล้วคอยบ่แม่นตัวสวยลูกเจ้ามันดื้อ มันสมควรตาย
Jim Brown
สบายดีเจสปา
คุณต้องไปปีนี้แม่นไผจะเป็นผู้ชนะพ่อแม่พี่น้องเลยแม่นการแข่งขัน
ไปยังเฮ็ดต้องไปอ่ะมันระเบิดหัวตายเหมือนนี่บ่
เสือหลับอยู่ตอบตุ้ม
It boils down to this. It's a tale of perseverance, of hope, of family, of loyalty. Beautiful cinematography, as I said, and we meet an endearing, plucky young actor who is a local boy. He's never acted before. That winning smile, and he just looks like a natural. It's a great film. We're glad to have this as our opening night film.
Great for the whole family, really.
Yeah, that sounds great.
We're going to be hoping that, watching the Oscars and hoping it gets in there.
Oh, is it nominated for the Oscars?
It's
or
not
potential
nominated,
for-
but it's a potential for a foreign film, yeah.
It's great. Well, bravo, let's go see it first. Before it hits the Oscars. Desert Runners. Can anyone talk here about Desert Runners?
I'll speak to this one as
okay,
well.
go ahead.
Desert Runners is one of my personal favorites. This is a film that anyone can appreciate. You do not have to be a runner. It's a feature-length documentary, and it first premiered this past summer at the Edinburgh International Film Festival. We meet this diverse set of what are non-professional runners. These are not professional athletes, but just folks who are training as they attempt to complete the four most difficult ultra-marathon races on Earth in one calendar year. That's the trick here. Doing one of these is a spectacular, heroic feat, but to do four in a year is the true test. The film takes us across the world's most picturesque yet really brutal landscapes. It's the Sahara, the Gobi, the Atacama in Chile, and finally across Antarctica.
Wow, that's
It's just really amazing filmmaking.
You really get kind of a geography lesson.
You do.
Because I didn't know that much about the different deserts, and that was really kind of a neat thing, part of that movie.
And we actually have a clip for that movie too, so maybe.
Why don't we take a look at it right now? Yeah.
I was going up the escalator on the tube, and I got to the top of the escalator, and I was like, you know, out of breath, and I was like, man, I'm 30 years old. I've been an athlete my whole life. I can't be out of breath. So then I just started taking up running.
I say to my kids, you know, whatever it is you want in life, have a passion. I don't care what it is, but have a passion for something. I think it's for me, I'm doing it to prove to myself that I can do these things, that I can finish them, that I have got the strength of mind, the strength of character.
How far can I push myself without killing myself?
I've had to work really hard to get here, push through injuries, push through financial barriers. I certainly realise that I am a control freak. It's hard to let go, being so on the ball.
I was in Iraq, and then over the course of a year, my whole world sort of turned upside down. The whole intention of doing 4 deserts in a year, it was a part of my grieving process.
The only thing I know how to do is put one leg in front of the other.
It doesn't go away. It does not go away, the feeling of, am I going to get through this?
We're in the desert. Like, there's a lot of unknown factors here. Heat, terrain, things that I can't really control.
I think man innately just seeks to see how much further can we push the envelope.
My body is shutting down.
Has he been up there for 4 hours, mate? This has just like changed this whole race for me. I'm just really confused.
People say, well, it's quite hard to do all 4 in a year, and they're right. I'll never quit. I don't care if I had to walk on my hands and knees. There's no way I'm going to quit.
This is a ringside seat into what these runners experience. I don't think there's any substitute for it. But what made this movie so special for me was the filmmaker's decision to focus in on 4 people, 3 men and a woman from different parts of the world. And what we do is really get into their heart and soul and discover not just why they're running, but what makes them succeed. And I can't say enough about this movie. It's about running, but it's about so much more.
And that's really the great thing about the festival is a film like Desert Runners likely would never show anywhere near here. So we're bringing a film, an inspirational, amazing film like this to the community and beyond. So it's one of the great things about the festival. What's next?
Absolutely. And I believe that you guys also have another Oscar buzz movie that you guys are showing, and
Short Term 12.
Mary, why don't you start off?
That's that knocked our socks off. That film. It won Best Film at the South by Southwest Film Festival. Got their Audience Award as well. It's the director's first film, and it's just a knockout. There's a lot of Oscar buzz about for original screenplay and for Best Actress. And it's a very authentic story of a woman who works at a short-term care facility for teenagers. And it's a love story and personal growth kind of story, and it's just beautiful acting throughout of all the characters. It's a wonderful movie.
Great. It's an American director, because we do have the clip for this also.
Let's take a look at that.
You need to get ready, because it's so unbelievable. It's going to seem fake, but I promise you it's not. Grace will vouch for me.
It depends if you tell it right.
There's no way not to tell this right. It is a storyteller's wet dream.
Short Term 12, this is Grace. Remember, you're not their parent, you're not their therapist. You are here to create a safe environment, and that's it.
Got it.
Luis, you better be up.
So is that was gonna be?
Community meeting is now in session.
Slow this down a little bit. Y'all ain't got no rhythm, man.
Mace, I love you like a brother, but I gotta say that when it come to being discreet, you're a disgrace.
I mean, you think we all don't know about him and Grace on the low, undercover trying to date?
Why are you so nice to me?
Well, it's easy. You are the weirdest, most beautiful person that I've ever met.
I've been waiting for 3 years for you to just once take the advice that you give your kids every 5 minutes and learn to talk about what's going on inside your head.
So let's all lift our glasses to our king and queen. Everything good in my life is because of you.
You know we can do this, right?
Yeah. Good film.
Good film. Okay.
Yes.
That film's going to have a lot of resonance, too, with people like at the retreat. I mean, people have to deal with these issues every day. So it's so human.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for bringing that to us.
Thank you.
I know that this has been talked about within the organizers and the selection committee, the English Vinglish. So I'm not quite clear, though. Is it Bollywood or is it not quite Bollywood? I'm not quite clear. So
somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between.
Well, it's an Indian female director.
Okay.
It's got a lot of life.
English Vinglish is a film that has some elements of Bollywood, much the way Slumdog Millionaire had, music and some dancing. But it isn't a true Bollywood film, I would say. But it is a joyful, feel-good Indian comedy. And it premiered at the 2012 Toronto Film Festival, and it's been wildly popular across Asia and with Indian communities. This is not a film that's available on Netflix, by the way. You can only see it at our film festival. It starts off in India where we meet this housewife, but quickly the action moves to New York, and she arrives there and she enrolls in an English-speaking course. And the reason she does that is that she's really, she's experienced sort of daily teasing and mockery by her husband and daughter, who are both very well educated and speak perfect English, and she does not. So this is a way for her to not just learn how to get around New York successfully, but also how to feel better about herself. We meet this very quirky ESL teacher and this classroom of eager English learners from around the world who bond with each other and help her on this journey.
Next! How you doing today, ma'am?
I want...
I asked how you were doing today.
I'm doing...
What is the purpose of your visit to the United States?
My sisters are attending my wedding.
What?
My wife, she was born to make laddus.
मौसी, अब सिर्फ लड्डू बनाने के लिए पैदा नहीं हुई।
Hello? English tuition? I can come in?
You may not.
But...
You need to ask, may I come in?
बदला नज़ारा यूं सारा का सारा न्यू मैं happy क्यों
My name is Laurent.
Eva.
Salman Khan.
I, Shashi, from the India.
No, Sashi, not from the India. From India.
Why India, not the India? Why America, the United States of America?
That indeed does look like a fun movie.
Let me just say something about this film, which I didn't know about when I first screened it, but the story was inspired by the filmmaker's own mother, who was not fluent in English. She was a businesswoman, but did not speak any English, and this was very embarrassing to the filmmaker as she was growing up. She was just shamed by this. And in a recent interview, she said that the reason she made this film was it was a way to say, I'm sorry to my mother. So I thought that puts even more meaning behind this wonderful story.
And also the actress is just terrific, isn't she? She's one of India's top stars.
I think she is. And true to, I think the what festivals desire is you really do represent a wide selection of people, types, all that kind of stuff. And, staying true to who you are. You also have another film, Reaching for the Moon, which I think you did select with a little bit of kind of maybe mindfulness in order to represent maybe, the gay community, or can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, well, we have a few films in the festival that represent the gay community, but Reaching for the Moon is a drama, which is very sumptuous, very beautiful. It's a Brazilian director. It's a kind of like a biopic in a way. It's Elizabeth Bishop, the great American poet.
Right.
And it's her story of her years in Brazil.
Okay.
And it's just an exquisitely made film, and it's well worth watching. The acting is superb.
Okay, and actually we have a clip for this one too, so let's take it.
The art of losing isn't hard to master. So many things seem filled with the intent to be lost, that their loss is no disaster.
It feels incomplete, Elizabeth. The poem ends just when it ought to be picking up steam.
I'm tired. I'll take a trip.
The geographic cure. Terrific, except you can't escape yourself.
Elizabeth Bishop, welcome to Brazil. This is me. I designed this all myself, every inch of it.
How is it here? We're discreet, but up here no one bothers us much. We can't all be as proud of our work as you are. I hear one of my poems and I'm mortified.
I want you to stay.
Let's adopt a baby.
You'll buy me a baby so that you can have an affair with another woman?
That's what you've always wanted, to make a family for us. So this will be your studio.
You don't know her. She screws everything up.
Live without me. You can't survive without me.
Don't do this. Where
did you learn to speak such good English?
By reading your poems, honey.
And like Lisa had mentioned, I mean, everyone can go to the Commons, look at the schedule, and see
Yeah,
these
no,
different
of course,
movies.
also it's all on our website.
website.
But it does bear sort of just emphasizing that the festival really has a mission to offer characters and viewpoints that are not often seen in mainstream media. And I think you see a lot of our films do reflect that, not only the lesbian, gay, but many of the others. In fact, I think the next film that we were going to discuss, Middle of Nowhere, also features an African-American lead who's a medical school student. And I think Meg's going to talk about that, right?
This is one of my favorites. I tried to get it for last year's festival, and it was off the festival route for some reason, and we tried again this year, and I was delighted that they let us have it for this year's festival. It premiered at Sundance in 2012, where it won the Best Director Award for a drama. What's more significant is that the director, whose name is Ava DuVernay, a young filmmaker, is the first African-American female to receive this award. So it's quite an accomplishment. She set out to make a film about a couple separated by prison walls. But what she wanted to do was tell the story from the perspective of the woman who's left behind to pick up the pieces while her husband is in prison. And that's not usually done. Many films focus on what goes on inside the prison, but not on, you know, who are the women, the daughters, the wives, the partners who are, the grandmothers who are left behind to carry on. And so she does this in this film through a heroine whose name is Ruby, who drops out of medical school, as you said, and she puts all her energy into sort of helping her husband survive prison. Well, the story takes some very interesting twists and turns, and along the way, it's really Ruby who goes on this journey of self-discovery. I think this is one of the most intelligent films I've seen in a while. It's heartfelt, it tells an important story, and it's beautifully acted and directed.
I'm calling regarding inmate number P48057, North Hall Level D, Derek J. Murray. My registrant number is 051954. Can you even believe it? I can't believe it. 10 months early.
It's good news.
It's great news. Baby, you got everything going for you. You're coming home. How is he? He's fine. Oh, could you tell Mr. Fine I need money? I'm trying. We're trying.
Let's go out, Aunt Ruth.
Can't, Pop. Want to see Uncle Derek on the big ship.
I don't want you to stop for me, baby.
You are me, remember?
Hey.
Hey.
How's your day going?
From the fire we made love.
He's going through a tough time.
Oh, he's going through a tough time? I see.
I thought that was you. I'm Brian.
Keep those brown eyes wide open for
I don't know what's gonna happen next.
I'm gonna try to be what's happening next.
deep water. Stay.
It'll be better. I promise.
He's a convicted felon.
Please don't patronize me, sir.
It's not supposed to be like this.
He's doing good time. There's a chance.
You can't see 2 feet in front of you.
I missed you. We got something, don't we?
Next case, Derek Murray.
The past has disappeared, and the future, it doesn't exist until we get there.
The next film, which is where I think we're all looking forward to it, it's called, I believe some of us in the community have been calling it the Vermont film, or it's called Freedom and Unity. I believe a lot of people are looking forward to it. Can someone talk about it? And I know that you guys want to also talk about an event that's going to be pretty big for the Brattleboro Film Festival. Go ahead. Mary.
Nora Jacobson, who as actually a couple of Nora's past films have shown as part of the Women's Film Festival. And this is a project that she's been working on for many years. It involves over 40 filmmakers from around the state, the top historians in the state. It's a comprehensive 6-movie film. Each movie can stand individually, but it's all part of the whole, the Vermont Movie. It's a massive project that she took on.
Okay.
And I've been hearing about it over the years, and I called her this year to see, where it was at and if it was something we could have at our festival. And it happens that she was ready to launch it at our
how serendipitous.
At the time that, it was great. And I've only seen 3 parts of the 6, and it is phenomenal. A lot of our filmmakers from our area, like Alan Dater and Andy Reichsman and Jay Craven and Lisa Merton and many others have been part of the making of this film as well as up north. But it's a real gem.
Yeah.
This film.
It really explores the history and qualities that make Vermont, Vermont. So I think it's going to really carry far beyond the state in terms of people's perception of our state as a unique place, both nationally and internationally, because I have no doubt that all 6 parts will show on PBS or some other local broadcast because it's that good.
Right.
And just learn something about your state. I mean, there are these aha moments that, we all experience. I didn't know that. When did that happen?
Right.
I've lived here for a long time and I never knew that about Vermont. So watch 1, watch all 6, watch, 2 or 3, but come on out to see this film.
Let's go into looking at a clip really quickly, and then I believe there is the gala that's associated.
Well, we're doing the area premiere
of the film.
Yeah.
So let's go to that really quickly.
The idea that there's still places in the United States of America where people get together, in a town hall and not just decide what the school budget is, but decide whether or not the country's heading in the right direction.
In the middle of traffic, one of my daughters goes, "What's that?" And I realized she was pointing at a billboard. She'd never seen one before.
I've been in China a lot in the last couple of years doing reporting, and every place I've been around China, when I've been talking to people who deal with energy, they all know exactly where Vermont is, and they think that it's a state roughly the same size and importance as California.
This state was the first state in the country to abolish slavery, and people knew what they were doing.
There's no state in the Union on a per capita basis that's contributed more to the life and manners and culture and economy and even industrialization.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Richard Waterhouse and Dan Butler.
So
you can see how beautiful.
The first movie will be shown on November 10th.
That's correct.
And in conjunction with that,
well, the first and second one.
Oh, the first and second one, two parts.
Right. So Sunday, November 10th, will be the area premiere of Freedom and Unity, the Vermont movie.
The Vermont movie.
And we are having our Brattleboro Film Festival green carpet gala to premiere the film. And many, Nora Jacobson, the director, as well as many of the other directors who've been involved in this really locavore production, are going to be on hand at the River Garden from 4 to 6 p.m. And we're going to have fiddling and cider press, and Whetstone Brewery is providing some of their signature Vermont brews, and it's going to be a really big party. Tickets are $30, and all the information is on our website. It's a fundraiser for us and the premiere for the Vermont movie. So it's really going to be great to have everybody together in one room, and all these filmmakers and the excitement. It's generating a lot. It's generating a lot of energy and enthusiasm around the Vermont movie, which it certainly deserves. So we're happy to do it.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. And then the next day until the 14th, you'll show every day another part of the Vermont movie.
Yes, each day at 6:30 at the Latchis will be the subsequent films, and each film stands on its own.
Yeah.
You don't have to see the one before to enjoy each and every film. And then at 8:30 each night after that, we'll be doing our countdown to Best in Fest. And then ending at 8:15 on Thursday, November 14th, with our final audience chosen Best in Fest screening, which is always a lot of fun and always a sellout.
The top, the top winning one,
So we're very excited.
Well, there seems to be a lot going on this year. So I just want to touch upon two more things so that, you know, because I know that you guys really do also focus on some special events. And those are also important because they give a little more insight into the film or whatever subject the film is trying to talk about or bring forward. So let's go through that really quickly, and then we'll have to kind of wrap up here. Active killing. Talk to me, somebody, about active killing.
Yeah. Well,
that's a film. Actually, it's on a lot of people's short list to get nominated for Best Documentary category in the Oscars. Its executive producers are Werner Herzog and Errol Morris, who are both top-notch documentary filmmakers.
Very well-known
It's extremely powerful film about the 1965 Indonesian genocide.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but it's more than that. I mean, the act of killing is creating a lot of reverberations because it's an absolutely unique kind of film. It's a film within a film where you meet these generals that carried out this genocide, and you really come away with the feeling that, boy, this could happen anytime, anywhere. And it's absolutely stunning. So it's a must-see film, and it's going to be playing not alongside, but side by side on the second weekend of the festival with Hannah Arendt, which the German Jewish philosopher, when she covered the trial of Adolf Eichmann in Israel, she wrote about it in the New Yorker and was subsequently blackballed by her own Jewish community for her coverage, and she really examines this same issue that comes up in Act of Killing, which is the banality of evil and how evil is perpetrated. And we have a professor from Keene State University, Sander Lee, coming to speak after Act of Killing about these two films and about their significance for us today. It's incredible. I just want to mention two other films that we have a special event around because we have two films that deal with water issues. One is Hot Water, which deals with the contamination, the radioactive contamination of groundwater throughout the American Southwest. And the co-director of that film, Liz Rogers, is coming to Brattleboro, and she'll be giving a discussion about her findings in the film after that screening. And likewise, we have a film called Bottled Water.
Bottled Life.
Bottled Life, sorry. Bottled Life looks at the Nestle Corporation's global efforts to bottle people's water, and specifically looks at Poland Spring and efforts of a community in Maine, very close to us, to stop the relationship that takes much of their groundwater out for Nestle to market. So we are hoping we probably are going to have a speaker with that film too. The speaker's not confirmed. And likewise, it's important that people know that we just locked down our schedule. It's all, we're all volunteer, it's all on the fly, but we're going to be having many more events. So people should check the schedule
Again,
on the website, and they'll see which films are going to have speakers. Many of them will.
Okay. And I think, again, for our community here in Vermont, there's also 2 movies called More Than Honey that you're doing little special events for.
Yeah, we may have, we're working on getting a area beekeeper to come and talk about local issues with that. We have actually 2 films, More Than Honey and Fruit Hunters, which are both about the food, biodiversity and food issues, and those are great.
That's of great interest.
Oh yeah,
for
no,
sure.
they're both great films to come see in that area.
Well, great. Is there one more movie that you'd like to talk about, or we can also go forward, because this year I know that the Brattleboro Film Festival is really trying to ask the community to support them in a more public support by kicking off Kickstarter. Do we want to go straight there now?
Yeah,
sure. Lisa?
Well, Brattleboro Film Festival was selected by an area marketing firm, very young and up-and-coming firm, Mondo Media Works, has launched their community crowdfunder program, and we are really happy to be the first recipients of their help. We figure if everybody that comes to our films and fills out our cards, who gets the Kickstarter link, if everybody gave just $15, we'd be able to cover the costs of the festival this year, because although we do earn income from ticket sales, they really don't go far enough to pay for the venue, to actually pay for these films. Films have gotten much more expensive in recent years. So we've got 32 films, and we have to pay for them somehow. We're an all-volunteer fest, so it's really the Kickstarter and contributions from our local businesses and community that can help us present this kind of wonderful productions year after year.
Well, I hope so, and I hope the clips, have given sort of just a flash of what is to come in the festival, and therefore what people are really supporting.
Yes.
So let's hope that goes well.
Yes, because we have a great children's film too that we didn't even talk about, The Painting and Boy in a Bubble, which are great, and we're trying to cultivate more of the family audience. We have an event with that too. So The Painting is a wonderful animated feature. We have several animated features that we're excited about this year. So there's something for everything at this year's film festival.
Okay, and let's just reiterate, all the films will be shown at the Latchis, correct?
Yes.
Okay, except for the 2 free library screenings.
Except for the 2 free library screenings. Where can people get tickets?
Everyone's Books. And at the Latchis during the festival. There'll be a table beside where people can get passes.
Okay, but then it's pre-sold at Everyone's Books as well.
Yes, Everyone's Books is our sole distributor of tickets, so we're happy to send people there, and maybe they'll buy some books when they go in and buy a ticket to the festival. And then during the screenings themselves, we'll have a volunteer at our table in the Latchis lobby selling. We also have an all-festival pass, which is a great bargain. For $175, you can go to all events and 50-plus screenings that we'll be doing this year of all 32 films. Some films play twice, not many. So that's a real bargain for folks. And also, if folks buy 5 tickets to the films, it's $40. So they get a break on the price that way, too. And again, that's available at Everyone's Books.
Okay. Is there anything else? We will show the website on screen once we go off here a little bit. And I believe that if there are any more questions, the website will have all information. And like Lisa had already mentioned before, the Commons will come out with a complete schedule of events and movies that are going to be happening. Remember, everyone, this is November 1st through November 14th. November 1st is Gallery Walk. It's an opening reception, at the Latchis or
Free wine
at
and
the,
cheese.
Yeah. Free wine and cheese.
Our opening films.
Our opening films.
3 that night.
Yeah.
3 that night. Quickly tell us the website. We'll have this on screen as well. But
www.brattleboroFilmFestival.org.
Okay. Is there anything else, ladies? I think we'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much for coming. I think all of us are, again, looking forward to an amazing, amazing festival. And I think we're all excited that it's 14 days, even more than 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just to make the last pitch for volunteers, we need help at all these screenings. We are an all-volunteer festival, so there's still time for people to get involved and come and get a free ticket to a screening by helping us volunteer. So we really encourage people to do so. And anybody that buys those tickets ahead of time also gets VIP treatment. No waiting on lines. You walk right in. So please do that, because it really, many films do sell out. So we encourage people to buy tickets ahead of time.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you guys for watching.